What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you do not know me, my name is Kia, and if you are returning, welcome back. If you had not had the opportunity to look at my previous videos, please make sure you go check that out. But if you are interested in hearing more about how it was for me at the call center, please continue watching. So I used to work at this call center called Conduent, and I was actually taking inbound calls for seniors that had Humana for health insurance, and I would take inbound calls from them. There have been a few times when I actually took inbound calls from people, and they were like around my age. They were born in like the 90s. So I was like shocked to see some people had Humana, because the majority of the people who calls I took, they were like over 60 or 65 years old. I really enjoyed my time at Conduent. I met a lot of really great people. We used to communicate through Teams. So if you had a question or if you wanted to ask someone something while you're on the call with a customer, you can message in the group chat, and a team lead would answer your question. I met a lot of really great people. My first supervisor that I had, he was just was not ready to be a supervisor. And then probably like around January, February-ish, that's when we had ended up getting a new supervisor. She made sure that everybody had everything that they need. If you have any questions, you can come to her, just message her in Teams and let her know what you need, and she'll be right there to help you. So in the 5 months that I was able to work under her, it was great. The pros, I will say, when I was at Conduent, is you meet a lot of really great people. You come into contact with a lot of really great customers. There were a lot of customers that I've spoken to, and they were just so sweet, so nice. I can definitely see them. I wish there were some people that I spoke to and I said to myself, oh, I wish this was, like my grandmother or whatever, or it's like I'm talking to my grandmother that I unfortunately was not able to have growing up. Someone could be calling in and they're having a really bad day, or they're just sad and they're just down and depressed over either their health insurance or just random things. And I would just, I would give them words of encouragement, like, it's going to be okay. It gets better from here. Life is not always going to be this way. God have you, even though they try to tell us to refrain from using too much religious talk in the call center, well, at least how it was when I was at Conduent, to refrain from using too much, God talk. But there have been a couple times when I felt like I needed to just give a customer a word from the Lord. Like, there have been times when I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I just have to speak life over this person right here. That was a really great thing that I loved at the job. I learned a lot. I learned quite a lot. I learned more about Humana health insurance than I have about my own health insurance. Like, she was one of the best trainers I have ever had on any job that I have ever worked. She was hard on us, but she wasn't, she was hard on us enough to know what to expect on the job, because she told us the truth. She said there's going to be some people that you're going to speak to and they're not going to be so nice to you. There's going to be some people that will curse you out and you just have to remain calm. There's going to be some people where they're just absolute angels, and you'll be blessed to, spend the rest of your career here just having nothing but angels talking to you. So she gave us like, hey, I'm not going to BS y'all, but here are the facts about the job. So she was the best trainer I've ever had. The pay was really good. When I was a tier one, I was a I was making, I think, $15 an hour, and then it went from being $15 an hour to me being a tier two, and I was making like about $17 an hour. So the pay was great. I did not have any health insurance with them, but their health insurance and their like life insurance, they have really great benefits there also. They also offer PTO, and one awesome thing that I really loved was they offered VTO. If you don't know what VTO is, that's volunteer time off. So like every once in a while when the calls are slow, or maybe it's like around holiday times and everything else, and there is not much calls coming in, there'll be a manager or a team lead that will message in the chat, you know, hey, VTO, first come, first serve. And every time that they put up VTO, my name was in there. The trainers were amazing. The supervisors were amazing, except my first supervisor that I had. He just was not ready to be a supervisor at all. But he tried. He tried to help us. He just was not ready to be a supervisor. The cons that I would say that I did not like, they were always like nitpicking on you. And I know that they were nitpicking on some of us because they see us doing great, and they want to help us, and they want us to do the very best. But sometimes there were times when I'm like, I don't want to hear nobody critiquing me when I'm trying hard enough. You know, there were times when I was on the phone with someone and I just felt like the person was probably angry at me, or they were like cursing at me, and it was just like I was getting a little overwhelmed. And to have that kind of pressure in your ear while you're trying to help them, it can become very, impatient to continue to remain calm, listen to someone cursing you out, and you're also trying to get assistance in the Teams chat, but nobody's even seeing your message. Like, you're just like losing your mind at that point. One call I had, and the customer was like irate, and I tried my best to help them. They felt like I was not helping them enough. And I was pretty much pulled to the side by my supervisor, and she was like telling me like, this is what you should have done during the call, and this is the document that you should have pulled up to read. And I said to myself, I'm not thinking about that in the moment of me getting cursed out. I felt put down, like, this is what you should have done. This is a document that you should have read. And I was like, I know that now. But when you're on the call with somebody, it's like very intense, and it's very like, you're distracted because you're, one, trying to keep your composure. Two, you're trying to stay calm. And three, you're trying to make sure you get this person the right information, or it gets worse from there. Yes, that's one thing that I did not like, was the nitpicking. Another thing that I did not like was the miscommunication. The other thing that I did not like was we started to move from one software to the other. So the software that I was used to, it was something called Softphone and Avaya. And I was used to that. That's what we used to train with and everything. And then all of a sudden we went from that to using this new software called Genesis. I hated Genesis because Genesis, it recorded our screen. Not saying that I was doing anything like sneaky on there, or like going on Amazon or whatever, but there were I just don't like to be monitored like that. Like, it's bad enough that y'all are already nitpicking me. Now y'all have to look at my screen to see, what we're doing and everything else. That made me feel a little uncomfortable, because it was just like, it just made me feel uneasy. Like, we're already being monitored with our voices. Now you have to monitor us by looking at our screens. I mean, after we got this new software, it was like the nitpicking just went from 0 to 100, and I was just like, oh my God. I'm still learning. Like, I'm still, I'm learning my way. This is a new software that I'm starting to get used to, trying to become accustomed to it, and to have somebody, no, you didn't do this, you should have clicked this, you should have clicked that, you should have scrolled over here, you should have put this there, you should have did this. I'm just like, brain overload. Like, I'm just like, okay, whoa, brain overload. You've been here for years, so you know everything like the back of your hand. I'm still learning all this. It was like they want us to rush to learn all these things, when just a few months ago I just got fresh out of training, and they already implementing a new software, and they want us to learn it like that. Like, no. Nitpicked about, oh, you should have been in system startup, you should have been already on the phone, you should have been doing this, doing. I'm just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, I had messaged my supervisor, and I said, is there a day that you're free, or when you're, you know, one day throughout the day, or one day tomorrow, I really want to talk to you about how I feel about this job. I just was like, you know, I appreciate the opportunity, but I can't do this. And I went through the line of the whole nitpicking thing, and the customers, they just became a little too much. My patience started to wear thin. I was starting to lose my temper on these people. Like, it just was getting really bad. I have a mouth too, and you can only take so much of while I'm trying to help you, and you're not letting me help you. You know, that it got too much for me. It got too much for me, and it takes a lot out of me to get a rise out of me. It takes a lot out of me to go there with you. And when I kind of lost myself on the first maybe 2 or 3 customers, I was like, Kia, it's time to go. It's time to go, because I was there for probably about 7.5 months at that point, and I had never lost my cool. Even when I felt like I was losing my cool, I would message my supervisor and say, hey, I think I'm about to get a little riled up with this customer. Do you mind if I take like a 2-minute break or something? And they were like, yeah, I understand, you know, just take your time away. I always had to like woosah myself about the situation. But in my last month or couple months of being there, like either my month and few weeks, or just my last couple months of being there, I started to get very impatient with these people. Like, I was like, my temper was short. I was starting to like go off on people on the phone. It got really bad. And I was just like, you know, Kia, we got to go. This isn't good. I don't want this getting any worse. I don't want to end up getting fired for this, you know. So I just made the difficult decision to put in my 2 weeks, and I had to get on up out of there. Shout out to anybody that's still working in the call center. Shout out to anybody that would like to work for a call center, because call centers can be a really hard job, you know, because you don't know what kind of customer you're going to get. They can be nice, they can be sweet, they can start off sweet and then get nasty, they can get nasty and then go off to sweet. It varies, you know. You just never know sometimes. So yeah, that's why I left Conduent, because I started to get impatient. I started to lose my SHIT on these people. And I just had to, you know, get on up out of there. If you're working in a call center, please comment down below and tell me your experience. If you would like to work in a call center, comment down below and tell me why you would like to join a call center. Please turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed listening to my rant / story time of how it was for me when I was in a call center. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please follow me on my Instagram. Let's reach 500 subscribers, y'all. And I will catch you guys on my next video.